In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to work with the blending tools in Photoshop. I have my lion, my moonscape, which I'll add my lion and my sky clouds to. And what I'd like to start doing is blending these images together and working with the sky and the ocean on the moonscape. So I'm going to make sure I'm on my move tool. I'm going to make sure my layer is unlocked. I'm going to click and drag, not letting go of my mouse until I'm in the center and putting it in there. Relabel this sky, that's fine. Making sure that my swatches, my colors down here, my foreground and my background are black and white and no other colors. And then also making sure my gradient tool is pulled up. Just remember, your gradient tool is most likely under your paint bucket tool, so be aware of that, please. Also with this, I want to show you that you can know the image size by simply going up to image size, and it will tell you how large it is. Also, you have the option to display a ruler both for the top and the side in Photoshop by simply hitting Command R. There it is away, Command R, and it brings it back. I'll tell you more about these in a later video. So, what I'd like to do is blend these two images together. And how I'm going to start that is I'm going to come down here to add a layer mask. It almost sort of looks like a cute little Japanese flag icon. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to apply it to the sky because it's on top and I want that one to be blended out. One thing I have to make sure of is that instead of having the image selected in the white bounding box, I have the mask selected instead. So what I'm going to be doing here is making sure my black is front and my white is behind. I'm going to be choosing my gradient tool, and up here in my options you can see all the different options I can have for gradients. I'm going to make sure it's on this one, which it normally will be. Now I'm going to click and drag, not letting go, but about ending it about right here. It's almost like a sticky string. I can do it in any direction I want, but I'm going to go straight up and then let go. And that blended in quite nicely. It got rid of most of the bottom, leaving a little bit reflection, and really holding on to that sky and that nice cloud. And you can see over here a little reflection of the gradient, how it starts in a deep black, goes to a gray, and then a white. Now let's try it again. So again, the reason why it's looking so dark behind, it is because it's pure black from the moon. We can try it at different angles. And it will always change. It never stays and adds on, really. It's sort of a one and done deal with gradients. But that's really nice as well. So I'm going to keep that one there. Next, what I'm going to do is bring over the African lion. Now, there are many different ways you can edit this lion. This is just one of many. And it might not even be the best option just because of the beautiful hair the lion has. But I do want to show you what blending tool with the brush is capable of. So we're going to do Command T and shrink the lion down. I'm going to put him about maybe right here. And click Enter, labeling that. And I'm also going to then add the mask on there as well. I'm going to use my zoom tool, making sure I'm on zoom in, and click and drag. And then I'm going to use my hand tool and move that around. So what the hand tool does, instead of just moving one object like the move tool, the hand tool moves the whole canvas around. So that's really great when you don't want anything to move, but you want it to be zoomed in and sort of centrally in line for the best advantage for editing. So I really love that little guy. And the hotkey for that is H on the keyboard. So if I clicked on another tool, hit H, it would revert back to that. And zoom is, of course, Z. And it's great too if you hover over these. It gives you usually little demos, but if the hotkeys there, it will give you that. So with this, I'm not going to use the gradient, but I am going to use the brush tool. With this, black takes away and white adds back in. So I'll show you both of those. So let's go up to our brush. And for this, you really want to play with brush sizes. I like to try to stay softer because it is a blending. You want a sort of soft adjustment into that. So I'm going to do a soft round so my hardness is down. And again, we can play with the size this way. I can also use my left and right bracket key. Left shrinks, right makes it bigger. So I'm just going to take that down. And this is great for bigger spaces where maybe a harder brush is great for when I get a little bit closer. And also a smaller brush at that. So I'm going to shrink that down by holding down my right bracket. And again, this is really rough. There's other ways I could do this. But I just want to show you again what it's capable of. There are many tricks to actually make this look a little bit more real than maybe what we're doing. But again, maybe I did too much over here and I want that back. I just have to come back over to my white and toggle that. Now the hotkey for that, which is great, is X. So I don't even have to come over there. I can just toggle, color that back in, toggle, take it on out. Whatever I want to do. But it's sort of like painting it back in and back out again, which is great. So I can come in here and, of course, in my adjustment over here, I can see. And of course, in my layer mask over here, I can see what I'm doing, and it's sort of outlining the lion. It's great like that. So again, various ways you can do this, especially with the hair, which will come in later videos. But again, I just want to show you what can be possible. Just to get you interested in the blend tool. This is a great first step to just figuring out how to edit photos. I would say if you're a professional, you would not use the brush like this per se. But it works really great when you use the gradient. And maybe another image that has less hair and organicness to it. So you can see it's going to have a slight blue outline because it was on a dark background, but still good to practice with. See there, I got a little bit of him away, so I'm going to toggle, paint that back in. And make this smaller, make this bigger. You can see it's starting to get pixelated, but it's also a 600%, so that's okay for being on the computer and a school project. For being on the computer. You can see how close you can really get to this if you have the time and the patience to do it. And maybe I wanted to paint one back in, so I can make this small, and I could start painting that back in to look more like a grass. Again, definitely different ways you can do this. This is just one of too many sometimes, but it's a great way to start thinking about it. And you can see what I messed up here. I just love adjustments. I just love these masks because unlike the erase tool, I can go back and fix my mistakes, where the erase tool is just really permanent. There's definitely different ways you can do the hair. And again, we can work with those in later videos, but for right now, again, I just want to show you how to make these type of masks work for your advantage. And this could be something where you can blend two animals together, so you can always try that out as well. You can go in there, work with her hair a little bit, give him a little bit of a buzz cut. I'm sure he'd love that. Well, not too bad. Obviously, we have to work with, you know, something down there, but blending that in a little bit more. But there you go. So a beautiful landscape, and working with another way to select an animal and cut around. So again, if I toggle this, or even better yet, X on my keyboard, went to my brush, which is on my right bracket key, zoom in, I can then paint this all back again. Now, the brush would work better just because if I did the gradient, and I did that, you see it takes bigger jumps where the brush can really get nitty gritty in there. Let's do a couple steps back, getting to where he was, sitting on the moon, relaxing. And there you go. So that's the intro to working with blending options, and most importantly, working with a mask.